I sold my comics at 2 events spread across 2 days, both at the exact same venue with very similar operating hours and with the exact same stock and table setup. The only difference being that one market was in the evening and the other market was during the day. So I took this as sort of a social experiment to see which market is better for selling my comics at, whether that is an evening market or a market during the day, just to save you guys the hassle of figuring this out for yourself and giving you my feedback on which event performed best. Both markets were held at Left Bank in Leeds, just outside of the sort of Headingley, Meanwood area. If you're from Leeds, I'm sure you know where Left Bank is. The first event we had was on Friday the 8th of December, and that was the night market. That was from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. at night. And the following event was on Sunday the 10th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. So there were slightly longer hours, but other than that, everything was the exact same. Obviously, it's the same venue. We had the exact same setup with the exact same stock. The only main difference, aside from what times they were at, was the table location, but it was pretty much the exact same on the Friday, but we were just mirrored to the opposite side on the Sunday. So that was the only sort of discerning factor, other than whether it was the evening or during the day. Now, I've done night markets before. 9 times out of 10, they're always very successful, especially around this time of year where we're on the run up to Christmas. People are buying gifts for family, friends, or themselves. So there's usually a lot more transactions than normal, and especially with a venue like Left Bank that has a bar on the site. After a couple of hours of people drinking, you tend to notice that logic somewhat flies out of the window and the alcohol starts controlling the impulsive decisions, which is great for traders like me and everyone else who was there. But with that being said, I did notice that Friday did not meet my expectations. Like I say, I've done night markets before that were incredibly successful for me, but it was a lot slower than what I thought it would be. The footfall was fairly decent, but I did notice that the majority of the people there were sort of young uni students who I'm guessing had either just finished work or school, because it's in quite a student-based area. Leeds Uni's not too far from there. So I think that with hindsight, the customer base on the Friday evening were going to the bar for a few drinks and they just noticed that a market was on at the same time. That being said, we still did walk away with profit. We made our table money back and then a little bit extra as well, which is always great. A general rule of thumb for traders, especially new traders as well, if you are setting your expectations quite high and you're not meeting them, don't beat yourself up, because even in today's climate, the general rule of thumb is that if you could make your table money back, i.e. however much it costs to attend that event, so for Left Bank, that table cost me £30 to be there for the evening. If you make that back, take that as a win, and then you can go from there, see what you can do differently, and then for future events, try implementing that to then make more money. Obviously, depending on which events that you're doing, they're not all going to cost 30 quid. If you do Comic-Cons, like I've done MegaCon, Thought Bubble this year, they are an awful lot more expensive than £30, so it's even harder. But the other side to that is the footfall is so much greater and people are going there with the intention of spending money. So all in all, Friday was okay. Didn't exactly meet my expectations, but like I say, we made money and that is the main thing. Now on Sunday, there were slightly longer trading hours, which I don't think impacted the day much because there were quiet periods, and especially towards the end of the event, within sort of the last hour to an hour and a half, it really quietened down. And obviously it's a Sunday, so it's generally a slower day anyway. People are more chilled, they want to go home and and have the roast dinners a little bit early, especially now that it's getting colder and darker a lot sooner in the UK as well. But the footfall, I felt, was quite similar to Friday. I had a chat with a few other traders around me and they said it felt quiet, but in terms of money and what we earned, it was actually about triple what we made on Friday, which is obviously a huge success. The table cost for the Sunday was the same amount as well. It cost £30 to be there for both days, so you're not sort of losing any money by paying any more for peak periods, if you like. It was the same cost, but the type of people that were there, I noticed, were a lot of families. Obviously my work is quite geared towards kids and is very family friendly, so I think a lot of parents were buying comics for the kids as like a little stocking filler to put away for Christmas. Obviously my comics, aside from the graphic novel, are priced quite low and they're between £3 and £5 depending on what issue you get. But also there was a lot of couples there, and by far the best seller of the day was prints. So we had people buying multiple prints as well. I do A5 prints for £5, or you can get 2 for £8 or 3 for £12, and there was a lot of people sort of taking advantage of that deal, whether they were buying for themselves or they were buying multiple prints. Say you buy 3 prints for £12, keep 1 for yourself and then give 2 out as presents to family or friends. I didn't ask, so I'm not sure, but they were definitely a huge seller. So yeah, but I wouldn't say the footfall was any more or less than it was on Friday. I think it's just the type of people that were there. I would have thought as well, with it being a Sunday and starting at 10 o'clock, it would be a much slower start. Obviously people, especially with the area that it's in, like I say, it's very close to the main university in Leeds. I would have thought a lot of people would have gone out on the Saturday evening, maybe feeling a little bit hungover on the Sunday, and things don't really get going until like lunchtime. But we actually made our table costs back within the first half an hour, which took me back quite a bit because I was anticipating a very slow day and we were actually pretty busy all day. So yeah, that was interesting to see. But if you are new to the world of events, or you're selling your comics or your artwork, or you're wanting to get out and do this, I would suggest, within reason, doing as many events as you can, because obviously this is my experience and by no means is this a rule of thumb to go by. Like I say, I've had night markets before that have been some of my best performing events this year, so for this one to fall a little bit short of expectations, and especially for the day market to do better, feels like a little bit of an anomaly, which you will find. It all depends on the area, the type of venue, what sort of marketing they do on your behalf, if they're even promoting their own markets, what sort of customers those markets are going to attract. Obviously, like I said, the Friday evening was attracting sort of younger students wanting to go for a drink, whereas the Sunday was definitely more family orientated, even though it's the exact same venue. So timing can also have a huge impact on that. But definitely get out and just see for yourself and have a go. I would really recommend researching your own analytics. When you put your work out on Instagram, social media, whatever it is, try and figure out what sort of people are interacting with them and trying to understand who your customers are, and then from that you can sort of understand and pick which events are likely to attract that type of customer, so you're not sort of wasting your time or money going to events that are attracting not the wrong sort of people, but the type of customers who maybe aren't interested in your work as such. So yeah, read up on venues that are doing markets, especially the area that they're in. and within that area what sort of customers are likely to attend. Like I say, Left Bank is close to Headingley, which is very close to the main university in Leeds, so it's obvious that a lot of students are around there. And places like Meanwood as well, for me, that's quite an urban area in Leeds and has a mixture of students and families as well, so that's really ideal for me, and if you do artwork similar to that, that's family friendly. But yeah, the best thing you can do is get out and just see for yourself. You meet all sorts of people, even if you attend an event that isn't sort of what you thought it would be, or an event that didn't meet your expectations, you can still learn from that and figure out maybe why it didn't go so well, and then use that to find the next event that is maybe more suited for your work. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to some creatives, and I hope it's interesting to people who maybe aren't creatives but just want a little bit of insight and to see what we have to go through sort of behind the scenes of figuring out our customers' events and things like that. There's an awful lot of work that small creatives do that generally customers don't see, so it's really great to be able to make videos like this and just show you that so much work goes into it that will never ever get seen. So thank you very much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and if you have tried something similar to this little experiment, leave a comment below with your experience, and hopefully we can help out some other creatives as well. Don't forget to subscribe. We upload short videos every day of the kittens. We've now got 4 cats: Iggy, Travis, Dwight and Ned, so videos of them go up every day, as well as main videos like this every Sunday at 7 PM. And if you want to be the first to see these videos before anyone else, as well as gain access to the past year's worth of exclusive content, behind the scenes and physical and digital rewards, then you can join our cult on Patreon, with tiers starting from as little as £1 a month. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks guys.